Major Mohammed Ali Shah on the telecast with me. So it's quite the turnaround. It was the Iranian Foreign Minister Major Mohammed Ali Shah that was scheduled to arrive in India for the Raisina dialogue that commences on 3rd of March. But that trip has been cancelled because in a promo video for the Raisina dialogue 2023, there is a 2-second clip of Iranian women protesting and fighting out the hijab ban in Iran, and also showing their supreme leader in that clip.
Well, Megha, I believe to resolve any issue, to sort out everything, is communication is very, very important. The channel of communication should always be open no matter what. We have, even in the army, when we are on the border, we have flag meetings with the enemy at times, when we have to do it. So similarly, when a simple diplomatic visit, it was a very, very nice visit which was being planned for March 3rd and 4th, the Raisina dialogues in Delhi, where the Iranian Foreign Minister, Mr. Hossein Amir Abdullah, was to come. But this 2-minute promo, which had just a 2-second blink and miss shot of the Iranian president, Ibrahim Raisi, and the women cutting their hair in protest of the hijab protest of that. So this video, when the Iran side, they said, take off this 2-second video. And our organizers, the Observer Research Foundation, which was in association with, in partnership with the Ministry of External Affairs, when the organizers did not remove this video, so he cancelled his visit. Now, is it a surprise or is it a known thing that only we are putting that video? The whole world knows what's happening in Iran. They are having their protests over there. We were just showing nothing but the reality. And so there's nothing, I mean, we didn't show anything controversial in that.
But we also understand what is the Iranian government's stand on the protests that have been taken forth by women, as well as those supporting the women protesters who are defying the hijab ban. Now, the Indian government or the Ministry of External Affairs thus far, over the months-long protests that have been taken forth by the women in Iran, have not come out with a distinct, straightforward response. In that regard, what is it that India is trying to build in terms of an association with Iran, which up until now was smooth, but in wake of several of these oil deals that had to be cancelled over the sanctions that United States of America asked India to impose on Iran. How is this difficult, complicated relationship going to be bettered in coming days and months?
Right. That's a very, very good question, Megha. You know, after 44 years, after the Islamic Revolution, Iran, which is now governed by a regime with a legitimacy crisis, which means after about 1978, we are having this government now, this regime now in Iran. They are having this government there now, which is having a legitimacy crisis, which people are not in Iran. People are also not willing to accept. They are having a lot of protests. So this is happening again in Iran. And also, not to forget, one more thing for all our viewers, that even the current so-called to be Al-Qaeda chief is based in Iran, incidentally, and a former lieutenant colonel from the Egyptian Special Forces who's there in Iran, which is a Shia country primarily, and ISI and Al-Qaeda is primarily a Sunni. They have a lot of Sunnis with them. So that is, but that's a different thing altogether. Now, when the foreign minister of Iran cancelled this trip, it doesn't go down well. It doesn't give a good indication. It doesn't give a good signal. It shows a bit immaturity on their part. Rather, they should have been open to the dialogue. They should have said, okay, fine, if you have, we are not happy with this clip, but irrespective of that, we will come. But I can understand the foreign minister of any country, for that matter, when their president's picture is displayed on something which they perceive which is controversial, which is not in their favor. No country would actually come forward and go ahead for that meeting. But on the same time, I would also say it would have been only magnanimous, more mature on their part to keep the channel of communication open and actually come here for the scheduled dialogue.
Okay, it's also interesting to note that there is close proximity between what India looks at China as an enemy, and there is a triangular association that is slowly getting strengthened between China and Russia and Iran. I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Major Mohammed Ali Shah, for sharing those details with us.